Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm just really excited to welcome you to San Francisco, which is my hometown, and hope you guys enjoy your visit here. So my name is Artham, as Brian mentioned. I'm the founder of Hooray Foods. And this is my first time pitching in front of an audience this large, so I need your help warming me up. Yeah? Oh, that's great. I mean, that's fantastic. Okay, one more exercise. I'm going to ask you guys a question, and if you agree, you're going to put your arms in the air and you're going to yell hooray. All right? You're going to yell hooray. So, what would you say if someone offered you the delicious, crispy, chewy, plant-based bacon? What would you say? Hooray! Exactly. So you know two things now. You know what my company's called, Hooray Foods, and we make bacon. So you can stop listening for the next 4 minutes because you got to know everything you need to know. But let me tell you a little bit more for those who are interested. So you guys all know this. Animal agriculture is the #2 source of greenhouse gas emissions in the world. And if you look at the ranking, pigs are the #2 in the US after cows, tied roughly with chickens for greenhouse gas emissions. So that compelled me to do something about this problem. And the other thing about pigs is that they're really smart, and they kind of have a social capability that's similar to dogs. I have a dog at home, so just the idea of us eating this many pigs is something that just seems a little tragic to me, and something I think we can do better about. So when you start looking at a pig, when I was trying to solve this problem, I looked at what are the most expensive cuts. And I remember hearing in a podcast a few years ago that if you could remove the market for pork bellies, you could remove the market for pigs. Pork bellies kind of make the pig market. So being a most expensive cut of of the pig, that seemed like a natural starting point. And kind of as Brian mentioned, like everyone gets excited about bacon. So I wanted to start with bacon. And compared to, say, like hamburgers, where I think the best plant-based burgers are really close to a real beef burger, bacon, I think, still has some room to grow between the best plant-based bacons and what I think, if you want to really get a meat eater switch, where we need to be. So I decided to create a bacon that was tastes, handles, looks, and feels in your mouth just like real bacon. It's soy-free, gluten-free. I've worked in sustainable food for most of the past decade, so I've been thinking about this product from beginning to end. So, for example, most of our ingredients are organic. Our coconut oil will be fair trade. I just started doing R&D in February in my kitchen, and in a couple of months got into a few stores, so we're working out of a commercial kitchen right now. And later this year, the next few months, we'll be working on manufacturing so we can start selling more bacon. And in terms of go-to-market, as I said, we're in a couple of restaurants here in San Francisco, and we're going to focus on food service for a while. It turns out that most people eat bacon out of home, in restaurants and cafeterias and that sort of thing, than at home. And you know, people often ask us about future products. It turns out bacon is a huge market. So in the US alone, bacon's about a $7 billion market, and globally it's almost a $60 billion market. So we think if we can crack bacon, we can actually have a pretty big, impactful company. So we do think about what might come next, and one of the things we think about is using our same process for deli meats and other cuts of pork, so we can really get after the whole, I was going to say whole hog, but it's like a bad pun. Unintended pun, sorry. And you know, the most important thing in any company's success is the team around them, and I've been blessed with meeting some amazing people to support me. Some of you will see Sam Littman around. We're sampling bacon today at 4 o'clock in the Ralston room, so go check it out if you want to try some. Trishna was in R&D at Ripple. Dan Malik, Dan Altschuler, you guys have probably seen speak earlier this morning, and another great VC friend, Jamie Dean. So we're on an amazing journey. We're always looking for great investors, customers, and people to join our team. So if you have any suggestions, if you'd like to join our journey, we'd love to welcome you on that path. Thank you.
Do the hooray thing again.
Oh yeah. Who's excited about bacon? Plant-based bacon.
Hooray! Okay.
You guys are great.
Tell me this, you come from a food background in the industry, but not in literally inventing and making foods, right?
Correct.
More in the chain and the process and supply. I'm always surprised, I think a lot of people perhaps who aren't in this industry directly are amazed when, like you said, you went into your kitchen in February and started making what looks like an awfully good analog for real bacon, the best perhaps we've seen. How does that happen in someone's kitchen from scratch?
I'll say two things. One is the Good Food Institute's been an awesome influence on me. So they have a massively massively online course that teaches you how to do these sorts of things. And I recommend it. Go check out that course. The second, I think it's also an advantage to not know what I was doing. I have no culinary background, so no constraints. It helped me just think really big and broadly.
Very interesting. Now, you have a very strong emphasis in your presentation, and I think when we've talked briefly in your whole company ethic about going after the animal welfare piece of this. Yes. And not every company is perhaps confident in that message, saying, you know, consumers are going to hand you your hat when you use one of the V words. I'm going to go work environmental and personal health. Those are safe, right? Everyone loves that, or at least gives them lip service. What's the origins and the reason for a pretty strong message here around animals and around pigs in particular?
Great question. So certainly within the industry, I think you guys all understand why we're doing this. Though when we go to market, we might have a health-forward approach, because that's the way at least most Americans are thinking about plant-based meats.
And especially bacon, right? It has an image of being very toxic, if you will.
Exactly, and there are all these reports about processed meats being carcinogenic, so I think that's our angle when we go to market. For me, it was when the campfires hit here in California in November last year. For 3 days, you couldn't walk outside in San Francisco, and there was just too much smog in the air, and that was the moment that made me switch from social issues in our food systems to environmental and animal welfare.
Oh, interesting. And you're doing with a food that tastes smoky, so there's something for you. I don't know what to make of that. All right. Let's hear it for Sri Artham.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Nice work.